Hello everyone and welcome. We are back in the ruins. We're running normal lobbies to do a little bit of boss practice, a little bit of bossing here in the month of December leading into the holidays, and this is our first successful Ghost King kill,
boys.
which really comes down to after you've gotten the basic mechanics out of the way, whether or not you can execute the jump to avoid getting essentially one-shot by the boss. But yeah, I'm going to leave commentaries on here. This is obviously from the Cleric point of view. Once again, we're a normal lobby, so this is restricted to kind of white gear and anything we found on the run so far. But in the middle of the month, we were spamming out quite a few of these runs. I'd say we've got Lich on farm at this point, and Ghost King, when we're not being completely derpy, and we can nail the jumps, is pretty much on farm at this point. Still no progress to report on the Death Knight. That fight continues to really just kind of elude us. We skip it more often than not. I mean, we're not even actively pushing it because, I mean, the fight's over in like the first 20 seconds, pretty much every time. So yeah, something I will say, and this is my experience, but you know, from reviewing this from someone who's played, you know, since playtest 3, and you know, consumed a great deal of Dark and Darker content, the timing on the Ghost King's jump seems to have significantly changed over time. It used to be that he would do this little bunny hop at the kind of, I guess, penultimate stage in his jump. He would do this little bunny hop, and that was your cue to jump to avoid the massive damage you take when he does his ground slam. The timing on this is, you know, changed, I think. It doesn't feel the same as it used to, and now you'll see here, you don't jump when you see him hop, you need to jump when you see him starting to descend from his ultimate height, and that's really key. Because we are still kind of, you know, learning on a lot of these boss fights, I am running Cleanse. Cleanse trivializes 2 of the mechanics in 2 of the different boss fights, both Ghost King and Lich. Obviously, on the Lich fight, Cleanse will wipe both the stack on me and the get away from me auras, the purple and the blue. But also here, Cleanse is really good for Ghost King, particularly when you're learning, because you saw just a second ago, during the chase portion of his mechanics, if he catches somebody, they're paralyzed and drained. So it's like a long duration stun, and Cleanse simply removes that in its entirety. So if he does catch somebody, if you cleanse that person, boom, they're out, they can move again, and they're back in the fight, and it negates a large section of the damage. So if you guys are working on any of the bosses yourself, I really recommend your Cleric to go ahead and run Cleanse while you're learning. It's probably a little bit of a crutch long term, but in the near term, it will really help. And watch me flail around here and miss these Death Skulls back to back. Now the Cleric really should be holding their Pika for the bats after the drop, but I keep getting greedy and using it to put more DPS on Ghost King.
Pika's almost up. Fuck. I got caught.
So see, Kix gets caught here in the chase sequence, and I'm just going to get him right out of it. Boom. He's free, he's moving around again, life's good.
Trying to heal myself.
Also, over the course of this fight, you'll see these frozen areas on the ground. These add a stacking debuff, which you can see above the portrait of many of the characters. Every time you get hit by one of his volleys, it adds a stack. Every time you walk through or stand in the zone, it adds a stack. And the amount of damage he's doing to you is roughly scaled off the number of stacks you have there. So Cleanse also resets that debuff down to 0, which is really useful if you end up getting cornered, or you end up having to stand in one of the fields for a long time, etc. Or if you just get hit a lot, right? Like, so it's to a large degree a do-over button for this fight, and it's incredibly helpful, as you've already seen.
Chasing you, Kova. Ah,
Tapped. Kiggs died to an unfortunate teleport right there.
yeah.
That's okay. Got the big guy.
Fire right here.
Somewhere
Players
over the
in,
door.
players in. Distract if you can.
Then switch places. After he might be able to. Damn.
Dead.
Unfortunate that we got pushed as soon as the boss went down, and we're in a pretty weak state.
Good work,
So
though.
that's game over. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. And we'll see you soon.